I knew something was wrong the day the bags of rice arrived empty. The truck came with police sirens, cameras were rolling, the governor smiled. Then the bags were opened and dust fell out like old breath. That was the moment I understood how deep the lie was. I did not plan to be part of this story. I was just a clerk. I worked at the state warehouse near the river, the one painted white for every visit, and left to peel after. My job was simple. I counted items, I signed papers, I went home. I kept my head low because that's how you survive. This was during the hunger year. Prices went up fast. Fuel went up. Food went up. People lined up before sunrise for relief items. The radio said help was coming from Abuja and from donors. The governor said no child would sleep hungry. He said it many times. I believed him at first. Many of us did. We wanted to believe. The first trucks came at night, not for the cameras, just trucks, quiet, with armed men. They came through the back gate. The driver did not talk. The guards did not write anything. I was told to sign a form that said received 20,000 bags of rice. I asked where the rice was. My boss looked at me like I had insulted his mother. Sign, he said, or go home. I signed. The next morning, the same trucks left, empty. I watched them roll out. I told myself it was a mistake. I told myself the rice would come later. It did not. A week later, there was a big event. Tents, drums, cameras, women dancing. The governor arrived with a convoy. He spoke about suffering. He spoke about love for the people. Then the rice came. 10 trucks. White bags with a blue logo. I knew the logo. It was the same logo on the forms I had signed. We opened the first bag on stage. It was half full. The rest was sand. People laughed at first. They thought it was a joke. Then they saw more bags. Half rice, half sand. Some bags had stones. The governor's smile did not move. He said it was sabotage. He blamed enemies. He blamed the warehouse. That night, my phone would not stop ringing. My aunt cried. My neighbor shouted. A man I did not know sent a message. You people will kill us all. The next day, my boss called me in early. He closed the door. He said I talked too much. I told him I said nothing. He said I signed the forms. He said if trouble came, it would come to me first. I went home with a heavy chest. After that, things got worse. The clinic in my area ran out of drugs. The road to the market broke after rain and was never fixed. Teachers went months without pay. The radio kept saying money was approved, billions. Big words, big numbers. On the ground, nothing. One evening, I stayed late to finish counting beans. I heard voices near the office. I knew one voice. It was the special advisor, the man who spoke softly and smiled hard. He was on the phone. Yes, he said. The money has landed. Same account. Move it tonight. Split it like last time. I froze. My heart beat in my ears. I did not mean to listen. I did not move because my legs would not move. He walked past me and did not see me. Or he saw me and chose not to see me. I am still not sure. That night, I could not sleep. I thought of my mother's empty kitchen. I thought of children fainting at school. I thought of the sand in the rice. I knew then that this was not small theft. This was a system. I started to notice things. The way trucks came at night. The way figures on paper never matched what we saw. The way new houses rose on the hill with high walls and lights that never went off. The way the governor's son drove a new car every month. One day, a man came to the warehouse. He said he was from a donor group. He asked for records. My boss laughed and told him to come back later. The man came to me quietly and asked if I could help. I said no. I was afraid. That same week, a boy died in my street. He was 7. He had fever. There was no drug at the clinic. His mother screamed all night. In the morning, I went to work and signed another form. That was the day I decided to keep copies. I did not steal money. I stole paper. I copied forms. I took photos of delivery notes. I wrote dates and times. kept everything in a small bag under my bed. Every time I added a paper, my hand shook. The donor man came back. He found me near the gate. He said, "Our people are hungry. We need proof." I gave him nothing. Not yet. Then the threats started. First it was small. A man on a bike followed me home. A call with no voice. A note on my door. "Mind your work." I stopped copying papers. For a while, I tried to forget, but the warehouse did not let me forget. One afternoon, a truck came with fuel, meant for hospitals. I watched it turn away from the clinic road and head toward the private station owned by the governor's cousin. I watched the meter spin. I watched the driver smile. That night, my mother asked why I looked sick. I told her I was tired. She said, "We are all tired." The next big event was worse than the rice. It was cash support. They said each family would get money on their phones. They said it would be fair. They said no middlemen. I helped load the data, names, numbers, ideas. I saw the list. It had the same names again and again. Wives, cousins, dead people. I spoke up. My boss told me to shut up. On the day of payment, people waited in the sun, phones in hand. Nothing came. By evening, fights broke out. A woman fainted. The police fired in the air. The governor went on TV and said the system failed. That night, I gave the donor man a call. I told him I had proof. We met in a quiet place. I handed him copies. He did not smile. He did not thank me. He just nodded and said, "This is big." 2 days later, my boss was arrested. The radio said he acted alone. A bad egg. The governor said he was shocked. I knew it was a lie. My boss was a small fish. The next week, men came to my house. They said they were from security. They asked questions. They looked at my mother's room. They said I should come to the office for a chat. I did not go. I packed a bag and left town that night. From where I am now, I watched the news. There was an investigation. There were hearings. Big men spoke. Nothing happened. The governor won another election. The warehouse got a new coat of paint. People still line up for help. Sometimes I ask myself if it was worth it. I lost my job. I lost my home. I lost sleep. But I remember the sand falling from the rice bags. I remember the boy in my street. I remember signing lies. This story is not special. It is not rare. It is how things work in many places. I am not a hero. I was just close enough to see it clearly. If you're asking how a wicked politician shortchanged his people, this is how. Not in one big act, but in many small ones. At night, on paper, with smiles and sirens. And if you are asking why it continues, it is because fear is cheaper than food and silence is easier than truth.